By the power of the beard, I bring you Superior Spider-Man. Now you may be wondering, what the hell is this, Benny? Let me explain real quick. A long time ago, there was a book known as Superior Spider-Man. In the beginning of that book, Doc Ock found a way to transplant his memories into Peter Parker's body and basically eradicated the memory, personality, and thoughts of Peter Parker. He then pretended to be Peter Parker and created the Superior Spider-Man persona, becoming a better Spider-Man. Well, at the end of that entire arc, Doc Ock was officially gone, but his memories were then uploaded into the living brain robot. As time went on, Spider-Man fought against Ben Reilly in the clone conspiracy, and during that event, multiple bodies of Peter Parker were created, and Doc Ock got access to those bodies, merged it with his own DNA, and created the perfect body, a cross between Peter Parker and Doc Ock. He then implanted his memories into this body, and after a few fights against Peter Parker, has now decided to become a hero known as the Superior Spider-Man. He was in the Spider-Geddon event, but this is his solo book, where he is attempting to redeem himself at his new location. Dang, I just caught up in that whole thing for you. This is the Complete Story series where we take trade paperbacks and single issues, we break them down into digestible bites, and then I read them dramatically back to you, almost like an audio book. And if you stick around, we're about to go into Superior Spider-Man issues 1 through 3.
High along the rooftops of San Francisco, Stiltman fires his gun, shouting that he knows the genuine article when he sees it. And you, sir, are not the real Spider-Man. Spider-Man swings through, telling him, I made no pretense of being that buffoon. That is because today, you do not fight against your old familiar enemy. Today you face the Superior Spider-Man. And Spider-Man's not wrong. Because inside of that costume is none other than Otto Octavius, the man who used to be Peter Parker. But while having his mind inside of the body of Peter Parker, Otto Octavius inherited Peter Parker's sense of responsibility. So he decided to use his brain and a new body that he gained during the clone conspiracy event to protect the people of San Francisco. He swings back, kicking Stiltman's gun from his hand, and he finds himself in a predicament. Not only is he the Superior Spider-Man, but he has also taken on the identity of Elliot Tolliver, a professor at Horizon University. And right now, he's about to be late for a crucial end-of-term lecture. Must he choose between his dual identities? Allow the Superior Spider-Man to damage the life, career, and reputation of Elliot Tolliver? Of course not. As Otto positions himself onto the building, Stiltman asks what is he doing? Ignoring him? And Otto tells him, no, I'm simply calculating. He webs up Stiltman's legs, and Stiltman begins to laugh, stating that the real Spider-Man would have known that his legs are silicone-coated. Webs won't stick, but before he could finish, Otto pulls back on the legs, stretching them atop the building, stating, for the last time, I am the Superior Spider-Man. So of course I would have planned for silicone coating. As Stiltman dangles, completely stretched out, he screams, you're insane! If you had miscalculated even by a fraction, I would have been killed. Otto jumps down, webbing him up, telling him, that is why I didn't miscalculate. If I had, well, the problem still would have been solved, wouldn't it? With Stiltman taken care of, Otto Octavius makes his way to the university to give his science lecture. But among the many students, there is a familiar face in the crowd today. Anne-Marie. At this point, Otto has in fact lived many lives, but if there's one thing that he has yet to master, it's having a personal life. College professor by day, crime-fighting vigilante by night. Even growing up, he didn't have much of anything. The one time that he did try his hand at romance, he was destined to fail. He was trying to impress a woman by being a man that he was not. With the combined genes of Peter Parker and his former self, he can have a fresh start. None of the mental images that plagued old Otto, just the brilliant mind of Elliot Tolliver. But inside of his apartment, Otto looks at the Superior Spider-Man costume and puts it on, telling himself, there are far more important things for me to worry about right now. The next morning, he begins to head into work in his lab when he hears someone's voice he never expected to hear. Anne-Marie. She tells him that it is him, isn't it? She could tell by the way that he spoke at his lecture the other day, and how he kinda looks like Peter and his old self combined. Not to mention he was in the middle of all that clone crap. Otto tells her, you must be mistaken. But Anne-Marie presses on, telling him, come on, you show up at the exact same time as the Superior Octopus guy or Spider-Man? I'm not stupid. Otto tells her, no, you most certainly are not. Very well, I will not insult you any further. Anne-Marie throws her arms up, shouting, I can't believe it! I knew that you were a middle-aged creeper, but to stalk me like this across the country? Otto yells, no, there's a misunderstanding. What I did to you is unforgivable, but I can promise that I harbor no hope of romance between us. I'm here to atone for the crimes that I committed by helping the world, not only as a hero, but as a scientist. I didn't anticipate that you would recognize me, but maybe we can... Anne-Marie yells, no! You're selfish, arrogant, and a mad power criminal. One that I'll be turning into the police. Living brain? Just then, an odd-looking green robot rolls into the room, and Otto asks, "You've rebuilt the living brain? It looks so outdated." Anne-Marie folds her arms, stating, "Don't let the appearances fool you. It's all digital now, even the whirls and clicks." Otto sighs, stating, "I cannot remain here any longer. I shall relocate. A new name, a new face." She shouts, "Oh no! The only place you're going is prison." But before she could go any further, an announcement plays over the speakers that there has been an emergent situation and that all Horizon personnel need to report to the nearest safe room. Anne-Marie looks at Otto, asking, "Is this your doing?" And Otto takes out a remote, stating, "How about we see if the media can enlighten us?" As a TV report comes on, a reporter states that they're just now getting word that what looks to be a meteor just landed in downtown San Francisco. As the smoke clears, a figure stands up and a man tells everyone, "I am Terrax the Tamer, and people of Earth, you are now tamed." Otto gets up to leave and he looks back at Anne-Marie, who sighs. "Just go, but this isn't over yet." A short while later, downtown, the police begin to open fire on Terrax, but the bullets just begin to bounce off. He tells them, "I was once the herald of Galactus, the world devourer. Your choices are simple and clear. Bow to your new monarch or die screaming." But as he goes on, he hears a voice telling him, "Silence." And Otto swings through, holding a bus, slamming it into him. Terrax quickly gets back up, punching into Otto, telling him, "I had forgotten how pleasurable it was to kill Earthers. I am Terrax. I soar the cosmic winds, bathe in the coronas of suns. Planets themselves bend to my will." As Terrax holds out his hand, the ground around Otto begins to rumble, and it begins to crush him. Otto manages to pull himself out, stating, "Well struck, but I have weapons of my own." Terrax asks him, "Do you? A pity that you'll never get to." But before he could finish, there's a loud splang as a shovel smacks Terrax's face and Digger shouts, "Dig this!" Get it? I hit you with a shovel, and I said dig this. Otto gets back up, telling him, "At last, the night shift. Together we shall." But before Otto could, Terrax swings his axe, cutting Digger in half. Densei Macabre says, "Yeah, we quit." And as the brothers Grimm pick up Digger's two halves, he says, "I'll be fine. Just need to hit up a craft store for some needle and thread. But you're gonna have to spot me. I'm a little short." Haha, get it? As the rest of the night shift flee, Terrax tells Otto, "Your allies are far wiser than you." And Otto tells him, "They're just mercenaries, self-interested cowards at heart, but I am far superior." One of Otto's arms spring out, hitting Terrax with a sonic blast, but while stunned, he uses his second arm to pick up a downed power line. Otto tells him, "Now for the coup de grace. All the power in the city's grid." Otto wraps his four mechanical arms around Terrax and begins pouring the city's power into him. But as the smoke clears, Terrax asks him, "Are you done yet?" After not getting an answer, Terrax hits Otto with a cosmic blast, shouting, "Fool, I possess the power cosmic." Back inside of Otto's lab, Otto radios to Anne-Marie asking if she's still there. She scoffs, stating that she's here and watching the whole mess on TV. If he thinks what he's doing is changing anything. But Otto tells her, "No, just listen. My spider bots are working on a means to combat Terrax, but I'm beginning to fear that I may not live long enough to have it completed. I have no right to ask, but for the good of the city, can you help me this once?" She sighs, looking at the device that the spider bots are working on, and says, "For heaven's sake, you're using Roxxon transducers. Grady Scraps just made a breakthrough with these, so I can go borrow some. Sit tight while I get this going." Back out on the streets, Otto continues fighting, but the more that he struggles, the more Terrax beats him down. After cutting off two of the four mechanical arms, Terrax kicks Otto across the street, telling him, "Your planet is doomed." Otto barely picks himself up, stating, "Never. What you fail to understand about the Earth is that they will fight until the end." Terrax swings his axe down, but as Otto jumps out of the way, he kicks Terrax's arm, knocking the axe away from him, grabbing it. Using what strength he has left, Otto swings the axe into Terrax's head, but it stops just short. Terrax laughs, telling him, "You forgot yourself. The axe is a part of me. I do not need to hold it to command it." Just then a cosmic blast shoots out of the axe itself, knocking him across the block. As Otto begins to pass out, Anne-Marie shouts into the comms that he can't give up yet. The device is ready. She can, but Otto tells it, "No, it's too dangerous. I will provide the transportation." A few seconds later, the brothers Grimm and Skeen fly over to grab the device, but Anne-Marie shouts that they have to take her with them. Skeen scoops Anne-Marie up, stating, "Sure, no skin off my nose. I'm happy to have another target for that crazy alien that isn't me." Back in downtown, Terrax lifts his axe, telling Otto, "This is it." But before he could bring the axe down, the device that Anne-Marie was working on is dropped around his neck. Otto springs up, grabbing onto it, with Terrax shouting, "What trickery is this?" Otto tells him, a device that Victor Von Doom used once or twice. If that dropout could use it to steal Silver Surfer's powers, I can easily drain yours. Otto flips the switch and soon Terrax falls to his knees as the power cosmic is drained out of him. In a last-ditch effort to get Otto, Terrax uses the power to pull a nearby building down on top of them. As he climbs out of the rubble, he says, "That was a clever gambit, but you've been crushed." And then in a blinding light from the debris, Otto tells him, "Hardly. Things have changed. But now you face the cosmic-powered Superior Spider-Man." Otto and Terrax begin exchanging blows, both wielding the power cosmic. But as Terrax throws Otto tells him, "I noticed something about your power over rock and stone. When you face an enemy made of stone, well, you should see where this is going." As Otto manipulates his power, he begins to rip pieces of Terrax's skin off. And as he falls to his knees, he says, "I shall repay this tenfold upon the city." Suddenly, Otto feels the ground shake as Terrax starts to level all of the nearby buildings, causing him to lose concentration, allowing Terrax to attack. Once Otto finishes setting the building up right, he leaps in to punch Terrax, but Terrax catches the punch, crushing his hand. While holding him in place, Terrax calls upon his axe, slicing through Otto's side. Terrax holds Otto up as the power cosmic spills out, telling him, "Your effort is hopeless and doomed to fail." Meanwhile, Anne-Marie watches the fight, stating, "We need to do something to help him. The harness drained Terrax's power, so maybe we can analyze something of Terrax." Even with the power cosmic bleeding out, Otto jumps back into the fight, but each time, Terrax overpowers him, slamming him into the ground. Terrax then lifts his axe one last time, but before it can come down, Otto knocks it away, giving Terrax another blast. Terrax walks through the attack, asking, "Have you not learned? The axe is not key to my power, I am my power." While Terrax focuses another cosmic blast into Otto, Anne-Marie tells one of the brothers to just hang on to this for a second. She needs to have the living brain scan it real quick. Terrax punches Otto across the street, but Anne-Marie radios in telling him to stand by for the readings and a big honkin' axe. Otto jumps up, grabbing the axe, slamming it into Terrax's side, with Terrax shouting, "You fool! Me and the axe are one!" Terrax then holds his hand out to pull the axe back, but as Otto finally loses his grip, the axe flies into Terrax's hand. He then begins to shout, "Enough! I will use this to remove your head!" Wait, what's in Eternity's name? The axe slowly begins to counter Terrax's energy, and Otto tells him, "Once we had a full analysis of your unique energy, all we had to do was alter your axe. Give it a new frequency, one that counters your own." The axe then explodes, knocking Terrax to the ground. And then Otto turns to the brothers, telling them to hold up the harness. No human body can last long with such energies. "I command you to... But before he could finish his sentence, Otto Octavius collapses. Sirens are heard in the background, and the brothers fly away, stating, "Well, looks like we're free agents now." Otto struggles. "I can't let the police identify me. Must." A short while later, he wakes up in a bed asking where. Anne-Marie tells him Horizon. She just told everyone that he got caught in the attack, which is technically true. Otto leans up asking why isn't he in prison, and Anne-Marie says, well, after they gave Terrax to Alpha Flight, the thought did cross her mind. But he could have died out there, and there wasn't any angle in it for him. So those actions made her reevaluate what she thinks of him. Just from now on, she'll be like his Jiminy Cricket. Straight up kick his butt if he even thinks of stepping out of line. Otto tells her that he can think of no finer mind that he would like as a peer. But what about the cosmic harness? She begins to leave, telling him that it won't be a problem. Alpha took that also. Now get to rest. As Anne-Marie heads over to her lab, she asks the living brain what is the status, and he tells her that the containment chamber is able to suppress the energies of the harness. She looks at the cosmic harness, stating, good, because if there's a chance that Otto may revert to his old self, she'll be ready, and God help him.
And there you have it, guys, the new Superior Spider-Man. I'm excited for this because I love Superior Spider-Man, the original run, this run, but I want to ask you a question. So Superior Spider-Man originally was covered by us right here on this channel, okay? But it was one of our earliest things, and I did issues 1 through 31 in like a 10-minute video. It's super condensed. So what I've debated doing is bringing you that story stretched out in our new format that we've been doing for like 3 years now. So all of the original Superior Spider-Man run, plus, I know I've said it before, a lot of you guys have asked for it, Scarlet Spider, Kane, down in Houston. I want to cover that story as well. And we have a new Ben Reilly storyline. So you have 3 crazy killer Spider-Men that I can tell you stories about. Which do you want? Superior Spider-Man Doc Ock, Kane down in Houston Scarlet Spider, or Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider? Let me know in the comments down below which of those 3 you want next. I cannot do all 3 at once, but we can start with one of them. Who do you want?